Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Today we want to talk to you about 5 money-saving tips for RV travel.
And folks, none of this is new, none of this is just for us, but it's a reminder because sometimes we get so focused on what we're doing that we forget there are ways we can try and save a little bit. And I just want to just go on and say the first one is a reminder that I needed, and that is slow down. We have just finished 2.5 weeks in Yellowstone, where for 2.5 weeks, our maximum legal speed was 45 miles an hour. And you know what we found out? Our gas mileage went through the roof. We'd never had gas mileage that high. And if you're towing, you know that your gas mileage is going to be lousy. Ours is usually around 10. If I get real heavy-footed in the mountains, it drops even a little lower than that. So the fact that we were up to 15 and 16 miles per gallon was just crazy.
Not towing, but
no, as we were going through the park.
Yes.
I'd never seen gas mileage that high on the van.
No.
And then when we left there to come up to Glacier, I slowed down, and our gas mileage towing was higher than it had ever been. And slowing down, I mean, between 60 and 65. We were still moving, but folks, when you think about that, that's going to add a lot. And so slowing down can make a huge difference. And related to gas mileage
is Gas Buddy and discount cards like Good Sam's.
Or you may have one for different brands of gas or stores, etc. And
one thing we've learned about that is that even with Gas Buddy, sometimes when we're using our discount card, we'll find a station that's cheaper than the Pilot or Flying J on Gas Buddy.
Yeah, usually Mylena is the one that looks this up for us, and what she tells me is the lowest price is whatever, let's say $4.13. Well, now we know as we're driving toward that station, if we see a large station on our right where it's going to be easy to navigate that's like $4.15, we may go on and pull in there and get this done just because it's easy, it's convenient, and not out of the way. Or we'll see that, okay, there is a Pilot or Flying J, but even with the discount, it's not going to be as cheap as we can get something else. So using those in combination is a way that you can save.
And one that we always want to remember is cook your own meals. We're not talking, if you go to somewhere where they serve, say, bison burgers or buffalo burgers or pasties, get the local cuisine. There's no reason not to, but to save money and make you feel better.
And folks, an example of this is my birthday has occurred on this trip, and what I wanted for my birthday was a bison burger. Guys, for a bison burger, just a little lunch bison burger with fries, no drink, just the bison burger and a side of fries, because that's the way it came, $18.99. Yeah, that's crazy. You want to know how many lunches we can fix for $18? And so by the time we got that, Mylena got a, I don't know, chicken sandwich or something and a tip. You're looking at $40 for lunch for 2 people.
For sandwiches for lunch.
That is just, you know, it was a special occasion. We were at Yellowstone. I got to sit there and watch a glacier go off, a bison walk by, and eat a bison burger on my birthday. It was awesome. It's going to be hard for her to top that one, but that's just one example. And so keeping that in mind. And then another one you may not think about, we are here in the fall, in the shoulder season. And being here in September, the parks we're at right now, they're looking at closing down. We're seeing notices now at Glacier saying this campground closes at noon on September 28th, or this campground, you know, different things closing.
or already closed.
But some
the
of these
closing
places,
ones,
they're looking at closing out their inventory.
particularly their summer inventory.
But souvenirs and
Yes.
stuff like
Yes.
that, and not just the ones in the park, but the stores surrounding the park
Yes.
whose livelihood is dependent on the parks. You know, they've got stuff 30 to 50% off. And so, yeah, you're not going to find that discount on fuel and stuff like that. But souvenirs, T-shirts, stuff, you know, that kind of thing.
Got a beautiful coaster. It didn't say Glacier, but it looked like Glacier.
It's, you know, and so saving that kind of money, that's, you know, it's, and some of these they do have, if you're looking at staying in campgrounds or resorts, they have peak seasons and they have off season, and that saves money. But that brings up, that was our third tip, shoulders, that was our fourth tip, because we had gas, we've had gas cards, we've had fixing your own meals, shoulder season. That brings up our fifth, and that is, if you can, learn to dry camp, because that is going to save you a bundle.
On overnight stops at Cabela's, at Walmart, at
Cracker Barrel,
Bass Pro Shop. Call and ask before, because many times there are city ordinances that say you can't do that.
But last year, our trip to California, we spent a number of nights in hotel casino parking lots. And, you know, 3 or 4 nights they would let us stay for free. And so being able to dry camp, not being dependent on hookups, you're going to have free overnight stops, which allows you to have fluctuation in your trip. You get to change. You know what? I think we can go a bit further. Let's check and see if there's somewhere else we want to go. Or also, if you're looking at trying to get into national park campgrounds, if you're not requiring hookups, you're small enough, you're going to have a lot more options that way, and they're going to be less expensive.
And if the park isn't being serviced because it's shoulder season, it's technically closed,
you may get to
camp free.
Now, some of them, they just close gates and don't let you in.
You need to check with the rangers before you count on that, but it may be free.
And we've been able to camp in some national recreation areas on this trip twice, where we had a picnic table, bear box, fire ring, that kind of stuff, and it was absolutely free because there are no hookups, and they had vault toilets nearby. And I want to show you a video of our campsite between Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons. Our site was free. Flag Ranch is the area right there between those parks. Folks, we did laundry there. We're thankful they were there. But we saw the price for their RV sites that had hookups overnight, $102 a night. And their view were the neighbors on both sides. And so we are currently, and I call that dry camping because we actually had a campsite. Here, this is dispersed. We have a spot to pull over, and if we want a table, we'll set one out. If we want chairs, we put those out. But KOA, we looked at it, West Yellowstone, and it was, some of their sites were $110 a night. The cheapest ones were $80 a night. So, once again,
tell you, we don't ever pay $80 a night.
And that's another thing with dry camping. If you don't want to do dispersed, you don't want to do National Forest campgrounds, you can do, if you can stay in a National Forest campground without hookups, without a senior pass, we've had sites that were as cheap as $750 a night. But those National Forest campsites will give you a lot more options. Because many of the National Forest campgrounds do not have or offer hookups. And so you'll have more choices, and those campgrounds are typically going to be less expensive than the privately owned. So, these are our 5 money-saving tips for RV travel. If you have others, please leave comments so that we can all learn from that. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.